Oh, let's talk about a little bit about your challenges as a musician, like jazz in particular, because it's a very niche genre on its
Yeah.
own. What would you say has been your biggest challenges since you decided to do music full time? What has been your biggest struggle?
That's a good question. That's a good question. Um, that's a really good question. Completely stumped. What's been the biggest challenges? Well, so some of the challenges I think have been around first and foremost understanding that if you want to be successful in music, you need to understand that it's not music alone that you need to be successful at. It's all the other elements of it. It's the self management. It's about networking. It's about relationship building. It's about um, your online presence. And I guess there's a lot of things. I'm quite a reserved person. I like to keep myself to myself in a lot of respects. Sort of, I've got my introverted and extroverted spectrums going at different times, and I quite like my introverted side more often than not. Sometimes I prefer it, and I find that in terms of marketing yourself, you kind of have to let that side of you go. And you have to just really get out there and, you know, get your afro all big and get attention. So I've been getting used to the idea of essentially, I won't say selling myself. I don't like the idea of that, but about about letting people know more about me and being more open to connect in ways I wouldn't have before. So that's one of the things that I guess have been quite challenging, just because what then happens is the amount of music you play just becomes minimized quite a lot because there's so much more you have to give your attention to. So there's that. Um, I guess also it's funny because I do all kinds of gigs, used to, and hope to do them again. But whether it be private functions, whether it be corporate gigs or weddings or parties, this gig I was talking about, Jazz Genesis, busking, I do all kinds of different things. But one thing people often say, is, you keep playing and someone will hear you and somebody will find you and somebody will make you great.
Yeah.
And I've always struggled with that idea because I'm not necessarily looking to be found per se. I'm not looking
Hmm.
for someone to find me. I'm right here. I know where I am. It's more of that, the idea that there are gateholders to your success. I've never quite gelled with that idea. I've always been quite self-sufficient in the sense that I'm happy doing what I do. If there's somebody who wants to collaborate with me, amazing, we can do something together. But just the idea that once you sign on to something, once you get signed, then you've made it. Or once
Yeah.
you get a record deal, or once you finally get to play on a big stage and those kind of things.
Yeah.
I find that I find that idea quite challenging
Hmm.
because even if you do get that, the record deal is only so long, and they pay you based upon these set things, and then also your own freedom is not necessarily freedom, but just the way you used to do things, you're now sort of conforming somewhat to an idea. So
Yeah.
like for me, I guess the challenging thing is, what does great success look like on my terms?